Hey, Elliot here with ePark Fishing. We're taking some cameras head to head. GoPro Hero 7, GoPro Hero 6, and Akaso V50 Pro. Let's find out if the knockoff can beat the real thing. So even though the Hero 6 and the Hero 7 are older GoPros, they're still coming in at $300 to $400 for all the accessories and one battery with no charger. The Hero 6 is closer to $300, the Hero 7 is closer to $400. On the other hand, the V50 Pro is only $120, comes with two batteries and a charger, and also all the accessories. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at this footage. The GoPro, due to the price, should be twice as good as the Akaso. So before we get into the image quality comparison, I wanted to talk a little bit about the color balance of these three cameras, because the Hero 7 has a really good ability to adjust the colors underwater. As you can see here, it balances the white, it's called white balance, and the Hero 6 and the V50 Pro both look way too green. This is what it looks like when you edit it to make all the colors look the same. It takes some extra time and it's really hard to get right. So even though I manually edited those colors, the Hero 6 still doesn't look as good as the Hero 7, and the V50 Pro isn't even close. So that's 1 point for the Hero 7. So here's another shot of me setting up the cameras. You can see right away the Hero 7's color is super punchy. The Hero 6 is pretty good too, and the V50 Pro is just a little washed out in comparison. It's kind of unfair putting them side by side because the V50 Pro still looks really good, but Hero 6 and 7 are much better. Alright, so let's take a look at the image quality now. The most important factor for a camera, in my opinion. So the V50 Pro is definitely not as sharp. It's got that green going on. Hero 6 has the green as well, but it's sharper. And then you've got the Hero 7, which looks the sharpest. Like if you look at the mouth of the fish, those lines are just so sharp. And the color saturation is really nice. Especially underwater, it's nice to have that color popping and balanced. So that makes it look sharper as well. So here's another shot where the fish are closer to the camera, because bluegill like to go right up and check everything out. So interestingly enough, the Hero 7 looks the blurriest. The Hero 6 looks really good here. Looks like maybe the Hero 6 focuses better close to the camera. And same with the V50 Pro. Now the V50 Pro looks better than the Hero 7. But then we go even like a couple inches away and the Hero 7's looking better. Looking about equal to the Hero 6. So it's funny how different lighting can really change it. So in this shot it's pretty close, but the GoPros definitely are picking up more detail than the V50 Pro. Alright, so here I was testing distances, and this was about 15 feet away from a trout. Zoomed in, and I kept zooming in farther and farther, and I'm looking at the dots on that trout's nose, trying to see which one I can see better. I think it's the Hero 7. I think the Hero 7 is just picking it up a little bit better. Obviously the V50 Pro is nowhere near as good at zooming in that close. So that's the Hero 7 again. Alright, so here's a shot of a fish from about 8 feet away, a little bit closer. And the V50 Pro doesn't look bad, but when you look at the 7 versus the V50 Pro, it's really no comparison. It's just so much more detail on the 7. Alright, so I did a time lapse for the battery life, and it also ended up being a low light comparison because I did it around twilight, and you can see the brightness of that Hero 7. It's just so much crisper and lighter. And as the sun starts going down, you see the difference more and more. The V50 Pro only lasted 48 minutes, and the Hero 6 made it to an hour and 15 minutes. The Hero 7 made it all the way to an hour and 27 minutes. That's pretty respectable for 4K filming. So Hero 7 won both of those categories. Alright, time for the slow motion, which is one of my favorite features that I'm getting into on these cameras. The Hero 6 can go to 240 frames per second, Hero 7 240 frames per second in 1080p, and the V50 Pro only goes to 120. And you can see that the V50 Pro gets a much narrower picture. It's just not picking up as much. With the 6 and 7, it's really easy to keep the subject in the center. Now that we look at the 6 and the 7 trying to pick a winner, the 7 to me just looks crisper. Like, look at the bushes in the background. You can see them better on the 7. So it looks like the 7 is better than the 6, especially in this shot. It's really no question. Way fuzzier on the 6, and the V50 Pro, not even close. Alright, so let's take a look at the interface of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Right away you can see it's got 84% battery, filming in 4K, video, 55 minutes left on the card, and there's a drop-down menu that's just like a smartphone. You just slide it down, then you can go to your preferences, connect it to your smartphone, and if you want to change your video resolution, you just tap that, and you can change it. You want to change your mode, you can tap the video mode and you can change it. There's photo, burst, night. There's all kinds of different settings on this guy. Time warp, time lapse, night lapse. I haven't even used most of those. So that's part of what you're paying all that extra money for, is a really nice touchscreen and user interface. So you just hit that button and you're recording. And it'll show you time it's recording here. It blinks red here. And if you turn it around, it'll show you the time it's recording on the front display, and it blinks here and here. So no matter where you look at it, you know if it's recording or not. The other thing I like about it is that it has this lens cover. You can actually twist this off, and if you scratch this part, you can always get another one, and you don't have to get a whole nother camera. So that's a plus. Makes it a lot more durable and rugged. GoPro Hero 6 is pretty much exactly the same as the Hero 7. There's just one feature, and that's the time warp video, which I have not used. So that's the only difference. Now let's take a look at the Akaso, the V50 Pro. So to turn it on, you press this red button here, and now it's on. And to change the resolution, you hit this arrow over here. You don't touch this. You would think you'd touch that, but no, you touch this arrow, and see, it doesn't work as well. It really does not work as well. You can see it's definitely not as smooth. It doesn't slide like the GoPro. It just toggles up and down, but it does work. The whole interface works. It's just not as smooth and not as user-friendly. So that's a lot of what you're paying for with the GoPro, is you're just getting a better touch screen. Look, the display even looks better. When you get used to it, it's fine. So there you have it. The Hero 7 ends up on top. The Hero 6 in second place, and the V50 Pro is coming in last place. Pretty much what you would expect, so no surprises there. But the question is just if the V50 Pro is that much worse than the Hero 7 due to the price. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.